Good morning, Magic 100 listeners, and for Scythe Cable viewers. Wave to the camera, Don. Glad you have joined us for the Reporter on the Air, your weekly public affairs show.
We're on the air in two places.
We are now the #1 show in Monroe County.
I'm glad to hear that, Will.
I don't know if there's any other.
Do I get a raise? Do I get a raise?
Yes, you double. Whatever we're paying, you double it.
All right, good. And we have a very special guest this morning.
We do. We have Greg Head, candidate for school board. And Greg, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Greg has put his neck out to run for District 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 on the Board of Education. He's challenging longtime incumbent Phil Walker. And Greg, I guess just give the listeners and viewers your pitch for why
you want to be on the BOE.
Well, one of the main reasons I look at is, of course, there was a catalyst months ago that got a lot of people paying attention to the school board, obviously. But one of the things, my main reason is I'm in business. And when I have young people come to me looking for a job, sometimes I get very discouraged, and it's very disheartening when I have young people come in looking for a job out of high school, and they don't fill out a job application properly. They do not know what a resume is, and they just don't have the skills or the fortitude.
Well, don't you think? Pardon me for interrupting you, but you know, when I was coming up in high school, and that was a long time ago, you know, we had a VOAG, vocational section of the school, and a lot of the kids, and I'm leading up to something here, a lot of the kids were not going to go to college.
Right.
They had to go back and work in their daddy's business or on their daddy's farm.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they were trained, even in high school. And I think we had the Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, the FFA, all and they were preparing these kids that didn't want to go to college or couldn't afford to go to college for a job.
Correct.
And that one of the things that happened, and Will and I have talked about this, and it's becoming a national issue, is vocational technical schools.
Correct.
You know, and what you're in the heating and air conditioning business, and one of the first courses that Swainsboro Area Vocational Technical School started, my dad, was heating and air. Mm-hmm. That was one of the first courses, and it was amazing. They were preparing kids to come to work for you. And the other thing is there were several industries there. It was a vocational technical school, and the type of work you're talking about was an attractor for industry. And Dad would say, okay, y'all, what do you need? Well, we need machinists. We need to know people. So the people, Dad ground them out like crazy, you know, and helped. It was an attractor for industry. I've got a meeting with our vocational technical school here, and just see what do they teach.
Right.
You know? But anyway.
Yeah, that's a big part of why I wanted to really run is like I say, as a business owner, I get a little discouraged when I have those young people coming in, because I mean, and for, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm fully invested in our community. I love this community. I love this county. I mean, I love everything about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't put my business here, and I wouldn't be living here. I've lived here all my years.
Is that right? Are you a native? Are you a Monroe County native?
Yes, sir. I've been here all my years, and I went through the whole school system from Hubbard all the way through.
Wow.
And but I enjoy it. I mean, I've had some really good teachers, and I had some really good experience in school. And I was one of the ones that really did not want to go to college. I didn't like. I didn't want to go to college at all. Had no aspirations to do so. And didn't want to do any more schooling. It was my perspective.
Well, you know, well, anyway, I won't get into that. You'll have to read my column. But technical schools got messed up, is because all of a sudden they were they wanted to teach history, they wanted to teach math, they wanted to teach English in vocational technical school, and attendance and registration nosedived.
Right. Well, let me.
And now it started coming back up.
Yeah. Let me clarify one thing though. You know, there's a group when the students are getting ready to graduate, and you have these young individuals. You know, there's a percentage that need to go to college.
Right.
You know, that group, great. I want to push that as hard as you can. But on top of that, you have a group, a bigger group that are not college material or don't want to go to college or can't go to college. So let me tell you, when students graduate, they got basically 4 options. Okay. your 4 options for a graduating student is go to college, okay, go into the military, which is a great career. You either enter the workforce or go back home and stay at home, mooch off mom and daddy, get in trouble and go to prison. So those are kind of your four options, you know. I mean, your students really truly are going to do one of those 4
That's
things.
right. Well,
So, I mean, I don't think anybody wants your child coming back to home and staying home and doing nothing, because we all want our children to do better than we have, or get a job, you know, have a skill and get out there and be the very best at it, and you can make a great career at it.
Well, Greg, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And I've got to ask you a question. And it's a question I'm sure that you're going to be hit with. Here you are running for school board, but you homeschool your kids. Why didn't they go to public school?
Yeah, I've already been.
Let's go ahead and get resolved.
Right.
Let's get this resolved, you know.
Yeah. Well, we homeschool. Me and my wife, we homeschool our children. They did start into the public school. They were in Katy Sutton, and that was, in my opinion, that was one of the great elementary schools. I really enjoyed it. Alicia Elder was the principal then. We had a good time, but me and my wife as parents, we are very plugged in our kids' education. I mean, when my kids were there, I got my tractor and my trailer. We went out and did hay rides out there during field day and family day. Me and my wife both were out there reading books, you know, once a month to the kids. We enjoyed it, but we take
Dressed up as Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, dressed up as Dr. Seuss. I still do that actually.
Face.
Yeah, I have Dr. Seuss outfit. And I
So why did you take your kids out?
Mainly, me and my wife really wanted to pour into our kids what we wanted to. We wanted to have full control of our kids' education. That's what we wanted to do. My wife was, you know, decided she's going to be a stay-at-home mom and work with a business, and now she's a homeschool teacher. And so that's what we wanted to do, and that was our prerogative, and that was our decision, because, you know, we just want to have full control over our kids' education. And, you know, there's many other things that, you know, contribute to that. You can say Common Core did, but Common Core was just one little line.
It's not that in Common Core.
Well, Common Core was something that came out, but it's not. I mean, it's there. No, I'm not a big fan of Common Core. The thing is, people say, "Oh, that's done away with." Well, that's not entirely true. They've changed a couple of little details, but now they call it Georgia State of Excellence. I think now, and it's not this. It's close to the same, but. That's like I said, that's one line.
Before they call it Common Core?
Something. The curriculum. Georgia Performance Standards. I mean, they have a name for it.
I mean, they always change the name.
Every 3 years they have some fad comes through the education.
Yeah, and it comes down through government and administration, and there's a lot of changes. Every 5 to 8 years, things are changing.
But Monroe County schools, as an attractor, Monroe County schools with their record, they're recognized as one of the top school systems in the state. What is it, number 28 in the state? Isn't that right?
Yeah, usually, I don't know, by test scores and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very good school system. I do see some improvements. Some of the things like, you know, I know the school system spent about $6 million on school books and things, and trying to get some things ready for our school system. And I've worked with George Miami a little bit on internet access stuff, and that was some of the stuff he pushed in his campaign, and I worked with him on it and discussed a lot of things in details and have some very good ideas with it. But I think the school system should plug into that also. I think they ought to take part in that discussion and have a little more input on that, because once you turn around and get students and their parents, you know, on the internet, and you got e-books, you can cut your costs on a lot of these school books too.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's an
I
option to
just
look
like
at.
to have a book in my hand. I had to work when I was in college, get enough money to pay for my book.
Well, there's another group that feels the same way. It's the can you turn your phone off, please? It's the chiropractors would really like for us to continue to have these 400-pound book bags our kids have to carry on their backs so they can have a lot of adjustments. You know, need a lot of back work.
Well, Greg, we wish
right?
we wish you the best of luck in this campaign.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
You are already a member of our development authority.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was on the development authority there in Monroe County, and that was county commissioner appointed, and I've been on there a little over a year now, going on, I guess, a year and a half. But I'm enjoying that, and it's real business oriented. And
it kind of ties in because, like you said, as far as training workers, a lot of these companies that are looking at Monroe County ask about our workforce.
that's right.
So, and does that give you? Is that part of what gave you this passion for seeing our schools improve?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things was being on the Development Authority Board. You know, Encore here, Encore here. They need.
It's your neighbor in the industrial.
That's right. They're right next door to me, and I've actually got a good relationship with them and done some
What
work
did they do
for
with
them.
their power windmill?
They took it down.
Yeah.
Obviously they did. So what my,
It did.
my question is, what did they do
It
with it?
spun off.
I
It was
think-
so fast it went off. It flew off.
I think they recycled it, you know, in the dumpster, I guess. And
Okay.
The real story behind that, and Greg probably knows, is that one of their subsidiaries of their company makes windmills. So they got a government grant to make what they put up, and they never used it.
yeah, well, they
That's how government works.
Welcome to government.
That's right.
Well, Greg, we
Well, they have
do. We wish you the best of luck in this campaign.
Yes, sir.
And
What? Any other issues? Any other things you want to talk about before we bring Richard in here? We'll
take
talk
you
about.
get you off the R.
Oh, I enjoy it. No, that's it's just something I really like, and I really want to throw my hat in the ring. Not unbeknownst to you, have a lot of people there on that board, school board specifically, that's been there for many years. You know, I just really think it's time for some new decision making, and I think the
Why
board
do
would
you use the
operate a little
term new
different.
blood? Just go ahead and say it, new blood.
Well,
That's what you hear in every community.
usually when you have a lot of people, when you have someone sitting in a seat, whether it's elected or on any board or somewhere, and you've had people there 20, 30 years plus, complacency sets in. I think people get comfortable, and I think it's possible that decisions aren't made as well as they should be sometimes. But like I say, I'd like to plug in, and I'd like to, you know, have a say so and enjoy that, because we all pay taxes, and that makes all of us fully vested in our community and vested in our schools. So I don't think you'll find one person in this community that will tell you that they don't care how young people turn out of school. I do, and I think everyone does. And being a taxpayer, that makes you contributor to the school system.
Okay, put on a different hat. Put on your development authority hat.
Sure.
Make an announcement.
Well, I think that we've got some really great prospects coming on there. I say coming. It looks really good.
Well, we got
And I can't really say a whole lot. Obviously, you can't say a lot because it's, you know, it's confidentiality. But I will say this: of course, I think it's already been in the news that you know, we have working with Central Georgia Technical College to help them with land to build a facility for our students to have dual enrollment. On top of that, people in our community can also go there, and I'm really looking forward to, hopefully, and I'm pushing obviously to have some HVAC training in there, but not also that, other trades in there too. So
Right.
it's good. I think
Well,
that's going to be very
we
probably,
hope-
if we can get the funding for it.
We hope, you know, we had Tiffany Andrews for how many years?
10 years.
10 years, and we were always waiting.
There was always one coming. One
There was always
right
one
around
thing.
the
That's
corner.
right. That's right.
Well, it's the
We got
opportunity.
finally we got the egg laying chickens, and that was a big hoopla.
They never hatched.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those chickens never went to work.
Well, it's the opportunities that present themselves either from the state and locally too. And it's one thing, good thing about the Development Authority Board is, you know, we made some changes in that board also.
Yes, we
since
did.
I've been there.
Positive changes.
And it's looking real good. It's improved, I think, and we're also looking at small business owners. We got some small business owners that are looking to build and do some things too. And we've got a group of guys that really look at that, and I think they're
Y'all gonna be able to
promoting
help?
that very much so.
Is the development authority going to be able to help Georgia Money build his building down here?
As of right now, I don't think there's anything for us to do as far as development authority goes.
Right.
But because it's, you know,
It's in the city.
it's in the city, and it's, you know, privately owned land pretty much, I think. So
What
it's
do you
up to
think
him.
about Precise Development Authority Director putting the bye-bye on us?
Well, I guess he had a better opportunity, which is fine. But I'd like to see more utilization of maybe one promoter for the city and county altogether. That would be, I think, ideal. Granted, the county and the city and the development authority work, I think, very well together. I think we could probably get one or two individuals to help facilitate that a little easier, I think.
Well, you know, Will and I again talked about, hey, why don't we have one development authority person, such as Bo, or just one, and you know, you brought out a very, very good point, is that requires for the city and the county to work together. Right. And that's an anomaly.
Yeah. Well, I think it's improving a lot, though. It is.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. But again, you go to city council meetings and you go county commissioners meeting, and you hear, I guess you can call them the nipping. You know, they nip at each other, but it has improved.
We were at the groundbreaking, which was in the paper this week, for the Project Chicken, they call it, down there on 83, where they tore down the Regency Inn at the interstate. They're going to have a Zaxby's and a convenience store, Papa John's. Oh, yeah. And the developer, the builder, the contractor, his name was Jimmy Salvador. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, he does a lot of work up in Henry County, I guess. He said, this is amazing. Everybody here gets along. He said, if this was Henry County, they'd all be nipping each other to death.
That's true. Well,
he was impressed by the spirit of cooperation.
Well, Greg, like you said, you're a native. There's always been a jealousy between the county and the city. I came here in '72, and it was one of the first things that I noticed. You know, the city would get upset with the county, or the county would get, I remember the fire department, the water department, you know. Anyway, it was totally nothing but, hey, I want to control it.
Yeah. And that's what we need more of. And you see that the city and the county commissioners, a lot of boards in different aspects of our community, here recently in the past, I'd say 3 years, a lot of things have moved around. A lot of people have changed as far as people getting on these boards and different things. And you're going to see the change. You're going to see some improvements, I think, because you have a different perspective on old adage that, you know, people have been making these decisions for past 20 years plus. And that's what we're going to need to grow a community. And I think it's not to negate the fact that the people that have been there years ago did a lot, but I think, like I say, times are changing and people want to step up. And the hard part for me, I think, to see in a community is getting people involved and invested in our community. Such as, okay, who can we get involved to run for an elected position?
Well, isn't that what Leadership Monroe is supposed to be doing?
Sure. Yeah, that's right.
Have they done it?
I went through it, and
yes, you're probably one of the rare ones.
Well, I did enjoy Leadership Monroe. It did open my eyes up a little bit to what's, you know, the facilities of Monroe County per se and the city. It gives you a perspective on how things operate for those that don't know. So I did enjoy that, and I made some good friends. And we, you know, Georgia Mommy was in the class with me when I went through. He stepped up, and, you know, he decided he'd run. You know, I'm doing the same thing too.
I think that's fantastic.
I think we are making some improvements. I think we're getting some people involved, and really, the idea is to get quality people in those positions.
Well, you know, I have a consulting job with a city up in North Georgia. And I was up there this week. I was up there Monday night and Tuesday. And I had a very specific meeting with some of the county officials and city officials. And they were asking me things, my opinion of the route they were going. And one of the things that they brought out is what you've just brought out. You said our leadership is failing to lead. Mm-hmm. And they said, how do you accomplish that? I'm fixing to I'll make this real short. And I said, y'all just have to work together, in essence, is what I was saying. Right. But anyway, it's interesting to see how other communities operate, you know, and the attitudes. And you know, we say about, Will and I have said about Monroe County, we're sitting on a pimento cheese sandwich and starving to death. Yeah. But anyway, hey Greg, thanks.
I would say one more thing, you know, based on what you said there. People getting into these positions and different things don't negate the fact that the people that was there previously have some wisdom and have some knowledge that you can pull from.
Oh yeah.
Where they utilize you or many other people in this community that have a lot of knowledge of how things operated previously. Because, like I say, there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of things you can pull from to.
I have to
Utilize
tell you
today.
a funny story, and I don't think I've ever told you this, Will.
Oh, good. I thought I'd heard all your stories, so I'm
No.
eager to hear
When
them.
I started the Monroe County Reporter, I advocated three things: zoning, a county water department, and what was the third one? Well, let's just stick with those two. The county, water department and zoning. And I came out, this is like in the second issue,
Yeah.
holy mackerel. Man, did I get cussed out by the county commissioners? That ain't gonna ever happen in Monroe County. You ain't gonna, county water, we ain't gonna ever have county. No, we're not gonna have a countywide fire department. We're not gonna have zoning. And I asked one of the commissioners, I said, what are you going to do if a chicken company comes down here and wants to put a chicken processing plant? I rode through Gainesville the other day, and I'm gonna tell you something, when you get to
You
Gainesville.
can smell it.
You can smell the chicken. And I asked him, I said, what would you do right now if your neighbor sold the land across the road and they came in there and put a chicken processing plant? Well, the next meeting, guess what? He was one of the ones advocating zoning.
He saw the light.
He saw the light, yeah. But I got in a lot of trouble advocating that, but anyway.
Well, Greg, you got 5 weeks until the election. This show will air on Sunday, so
Okay.
Don
Excited.
and I often joke about, like a lot of small towns, Monroe County has certain people in office that have been there forever and they're related to everybody, and they can be tough to beat. So, what is your goal the next 5 weeks to try to win this office?
Take your signs off county property. Your signs on the right of way. And I've already mentioned to the sheriff, the sheriff they can write you a ticket for all your signs that are on
The
county property.
sign wars are always with us.
Well, yeah, I hear you.
You're already violating the law and you ain't even been elected yet.
That's terrible, isn't it? Well, it's also, you put something out there so people can see you. It's if you don't get out there so people can see you and hear you, then you're kind of spinning your wheels doing nothing. I think also mainly getting out talking to folks.
I
having
love
the
the
support. So
head to the polls. That is pretty clever.
Yep.
yeah. Well, I can credit my wife because she came up with that. So.
Well,
And then we were driving down the road the other day, and she says, "Hey, look at that sign." I said, "Yeah, that's pretty neat, isn't it?" She says, "Good thing I came up with that." I said, "No, you didn't. I did." And she says, "Wait a minute. No, you didn't. I did." So, so it was funny, but yeah, she did a good
Get
job.
your signs off the right of way.
I know it. Well, I can't. Some people, homeowners, they stick them out there. I had some people get pulled up.
Whose
and
sign
they
is it? Whose sign is it?
Oh, it's my sign.
Okay, thank you.
We forgot to
There you
mention.
go.
We forgot to mention. I always think about you and Phil, and we have another candidate, Tanya Wiggins, is also
Yeah.
running.
Yeah,
So we're
She
likely.
lives in River Forest, doesn't
She
she?
does.
Correct.
So
And
we're
you're
likely-
having a tete-a-tete soiree in River Forest to raise funds so that you can put more signs on county property, right?
Yes, sir. I guess I need to just, even though you're not in my district, maybe I just come out and put a few in your yard. No.
That's fine. You're more than welcome to put them in the yard. Just don't put them out on the right of way.
I got you. But yeah, there's 3 of us running, and like I say, obviously I feel I'm the best option, obviously. But like I say, obviously I'm going to be out there gaining support and doing what I can do.
Well, Greg,
Well, I tell you what, I think will bring to the Board of Education some innovative ideas, and I hope that you can get them accomplished.
Yes, sir. Well, I do too, and I think there's
The
plenty
one
of room
thing you
for
need
me
to
do
always remember, you serve the people of Monroe County, you don't serve yourself.
that. Correct. I agree 100%, and that's one thing I've always said. I enjoy politics. I like being knowledgeable about things, especially in the political realm. That's just something I enjoy. But there's one thing that I will say, and I've told many people is, some people, even locally, they get in these elected positions, they think it's a seat of power. I'll tell you, it is not. It's a seat of servitude.
That's exactly
And if you don't
right.
look at it that way, you have no
Well, if you were in
reason
my
to be
district,
there.
after you just said that, I'd vote for you. I might vote for you anyway.
Well, like,
I think you're in his district.
No?
Do you go to Blunt Road?
no, he's just outside my
Oh,
district.
so you don't cross 42 is the border?
42 is the border, and then it goes up Blunt Road, and everything's south. So
Okay.
there to
South of
High Falls, the Tualaga River, High
The what
Falls,
river?
Talaggy.
There you go.
I said it a while ago.
That's right, you did, boy. I figured that would have cost you some votes.
But everything south of that is in my district, all the way down to part of Smith Road and that way.
But I thought Judy Pettigrew lives on the east side of 42.
She lives on the east side. She is my school
Yeah,
person.
but maybe that district goes to the left.
I found the school districts. They're kind of funny. I've got one that the one side that goes toward Riata to the county line. It actually falls a small creek, so that's Riata in half actually.
Really?
So, yes, it does.
Half a real?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty interesting.
Is Brandon Pinson in your district?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Brandon Sheriff
The-
Pinson, the vet in town?
The veterinarian that's here in town. He's a
Young-
really good guy.
Young couple, and I think that's what Greg brings. He's a young man, a young businessman that brings a lot of leadership and new thoughts and ideas to the community. So best wishes to you.
Yes, sir.
Best wishes to you.
Thanks for
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much.